So, EJ, tell us what it's like for you when you're practicing or in the middle of training.
Siguro, a lot of people think that training is a bit more like glamorous than it is. That's really, to be honest, my life is really nomadic, repetitive, maybe not as boring as it is, but it is kind of
Mm.
boring. So, I always do the same thing. It's how you say, it's a repetitive process. It's the same. You want to perfect your craft. You need to train ulit-ulitin mo yan, train and train, train until you know it like the back of your hand, and you can do it basically with your eyes closed. So yeah, so that's what we do. I train twice a day, 8 to 10 times a week. So that means like, some are one time a day, some are twice a day. Yeah, I mean, I enjoy it. I enjoy the challenge of it. But at the same time, I would be lying if I say every time na pupunta ako sa oval or sa training area, I'm excited and let's go, I'm ready. No, of course, there are times that, I really pull myself out of the bed and said, hey, this is something I need to do. You want to be better. These are the days that I just need to bite my lip and say, hey, this is what it takes. So
Mhm.
yeah, I mean, training is fun and all, but at the same time, it gets serious from time to time.
To be honest with you, me, like a lot of other Filipinos, parang pole vaulting really just came into our awareness at the last Olympics when we watched you. I mean, I'm speaking from experience here. I knew what pole vaulting was, but I didn't really know how it worked. You go a number of times and you do the same jump and then just see the highest that you can go, right? So is this the kind of training you do on a daily basis? Your drills are also like that, parang takbo tapos talon on a daily basis.
Hindi naman po. Iba-iba po. So say pole vaulting is a very complex and very technical event. Even in where we're part of track and field, it's really is a little bit out of their dimension, I guess. You don't see people running around with stick, planting it in a box, and then trying to fling themselves over another bar. So pole vaulting, I can divide it as track, which is the running part of it, and maybe until the takeoff where I actually jump. But then the other part is actually gymnastics, the aerial spatial awareness and everything. It's quite gymnastics. And to be able to connect both of that, I would say that's strength. That's going to be in the gym. That's going to be, the work that we do in the gym. So these are the things that we need to train in a week. And in one microcycle, it's the plan. So we do some running, we do some weightlifting, we do gymnastics. I do similar things like Kaloy, but not in that level. He's like here and I'm scratching the surface. So yeah, so I do a bit of weightlifting, of course, not as well as good as Heidi, but we have these things that hopefully accumulates and make me a better pole vaulter. So
Mhm.
sometimes, for example, for Monday, I'll do siguro jumps. That's the first thing I would do, the actual vaulting, and then maybe in the evening I'll do some weightlifting, some strength training, and then the next morning I'll do some running, and then in the afternoon I'll do some gymnastics, and then the day after I'll do some speed endurance for overall fitness. So these are the type of how do you say? I guess my routine in a week's time. Po.
So much work and effort, and then to put into when you're watching it, it looks like a few seconds or a few